$4 can barely buy a fancy coffee drink anymore, but there are people who can only spare that amount for an entire day of food.
The average person receiving food benefits in the state of Washington gets about $125 a month, and that comes down to about $4 a day. Thomas Reynolds is CEO of Northwest Harvest and joins us now. We have a big food drive, Home Team Harvest tomorrow. We're partnering with you guys, and so good to have you here.
Thanks so much.
That number is shocking, Thomas. How does that happen?
It's difficult. You know, families who have incomes of less than $1,700 a month really struggle in the Seattle area and across the state. So they're eligible for SNAP benefits, which is a food program for low-income families.
So we know it sort of as food stamps, right? What does $4 a day look like? Like, tell us some of the foods that you'd be able to buy with that amount of money.
Well, every family needs to have dietary diversity, so grains, fresh fruits and vegetables, and protein. It's very difficult to do that on $4 a day. That's why food banks are so important.
Yeah, it just kills me that kids are going to bed hungry some nights. What's a typical hungry family look like these days? Well,
they're a working family. You know, there's this assumption that food banks support just homeless people. Of course they support them, but they support men and women, single fathers and mothers who are working 2 and 3 jobs at times.
Wow.
You're really having to stretch the dollar, right? When you're having to make that amount of money work for your whole family and you're working. You can't afford convenience foods.
That's exactly right.
So what kind of foods are you buying or are you receiving from the food bank?
Well, from the food bank, we make sure that people have grains and they have fresh fruits and vegetables. 67% of what we distribute around the state are fruits and vegetables. Those are so important for families.
Amanda brought this up before we went on, that you used to work in the San Francisco area during the boom days. We were right in the middle of a tech boom in Seattle. The cost of housing is astronomical now. Is there a correlation between that and the number of hungry families that we see?
Well, there absolutely is, and Seattle was just listed as the 3rd highest metro in the country in terms of inequality. That means the economy is improving, but so is disparity, and so more and more families are struggling. Healthcare, housing, food, something has to give, and oftentimes people can't feed their families the way they want to.
Wow.
Gosh, so tell us about how important Home Team Harvest is for what you do, for what Northwest Harvest does.
This is the moment. This is the largest food drive in the state of Washington, and this is going to determine what food banks have not only in December, but for the next several months. This is the difference maker. The food that's donated and the money that's donated really drives food banks across the state of Washington.
So you're like the food bank's food bank.
That's right. Yeah, we distribute all across the state.
Yeah.
So you've been here about, what, 5-6 months now as CEO?
That's right.
How's it going so far?
Great teams, great programs, the food banks and the passion, not only for feeding people, but asking the question, why are people hungry? I think we've got an opportunity for a big solution for the whole state.
Okay. Well, Thomas Reynolds, CEO of Northwest Harvest, we'll see you tomorrow out there.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And if you want to do something to help out, we hope that you can join us this weekend. Home Team Harvest is happening tomorrow. The King 5 team will be all over, 6 collection locations all morning on Saturday. It is December 2nd. Bring donations of cash or non-perishable food. We're trying to raise 5 million meals to help end hunger here in Washington.